You've been looking at the list. What's on it?
So, not surprisingly, aircraft are on the list of retaliatory targets that the U.S. is going to hit. It's going to hit a 10% tariff on large aircraft coming from a few European countries, including the U.K. and France. Also, though, are other items completely unrelated to aircraft. There's 25% tariffs on things like olives and cheese, some machinery, pork. So, it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of what the U.S. is targeting. And what the ultimate goal is, according to the U.S. Trade Representative's office, is to hit Europe where it hurts in order to get them to the table for a negotiated settlement. There's another case coming up at the WTO next year where Europe alleges that the U.S. has unfairly subsidized Boeing. And so I think, the U.S. wants to head off perhaps any retaliatory tariffs the EU may put in place on American goods as a result of that similar case.
Sarah, President Trump seemed pretty satisfied with the ruling. Take a listen.
It was a big win for the United States, right?
It was.
You never had wins with other presidents, did you? But we're having a lot of wins at the WTO
this was
since
a
I
case
became
that started, I think, 10 or 15 years ago.
Okay.
But
excuse me. Your wins are now because they think I don't like the WTO and they want to make sure I'm happy because all of those countries were ripping off the United States for many years.
Sarah, it was a big win, right? The award was the largest in WTO history.
Absolutely. The U.S. was looking for $11 billion, but I think it will be happy with the $7.5 billion award that it got from the WTO. As you just said, it's a record. That being said, I guess to clarify what President Trump was saying there is that, the WTO's main problem, I think, with, the world right now in terms of tariffs is that the Trump administration is putting these protectionist barriers up on its own using American laws, these national security tariffs on steel and aluminum, the Chinese tariffs, whereas in the WTO case is going through the WTO system, the global world trade system that everyone had set up and has agreed to. That being said, a criticism of it is how long it takes. This recent Airbus case took 15 years. So I think, there's sort of criticism to be leveled on both sides of the debate.
And Sarah, weren't the U.S. and the EU also negotiating a trade deal? Is that still going on, and will this have an impact on that?
So negotiations are at a bit of a standstill. The U.S. and the EU agreed last year to this trade deal. Of course, hanging over the threat of the EU are these auto tariffs that Trump has to make his next decision on, or at least to decide to delay a decision on by November. So it'll be interesting to see how this case at the WTO and the upcoming Boeing case plays into those talks and what leverage the Trump administration might try and get out of these new tariffs on EU goods.